North here with another episode of my Dark Souls Remastered playthrough. Last episode we beat Sif. I know I fought him a little early and struggled a little bit against him, but like I said, if you're okay with dodges, you can take him out when I got there. But it definitely helps to be a little bit higher in level and have some better weapons. But next, I am going to take on the Hydra. He's technically not a boss per se, because he doesn't have the boss health bar, but he's a fairly large obstacle, I guess we'll call him then. I don't want to catch flack for calling him a boss or not calling him a boss, but he is optional. But defeating him also gives you the opportunity to fight the Iron Golem. Not the Iron Golem, the Golden Golem monster, which I will also take care of this episode. This area is not hard per se, but the enemies here have a ton of defense, and if you're not careful, they can hit pretty hard, but they're not enemies that aren't manageable at this point in the game. It's best to fight one at a time if possible, to avoid not getting chain hit with their different abilities and stuff. That's another suit of armor. There is a Black Knight in this area, which I am not going to fight until later. Not because he's difficult or anything, but I want to come back with a bunch of humanity and an item that can increase my chances of drop rate for, gear that comes off of them. That's not guaranteed. And these are the golems. Like I said, they're not hard. They do have a stagger, which is nice, but they have a ton of defense. So if you have a weapon like the Claymore that can hit pretty hard, you can chunk through them. Stagger is always nice. They have a pretty big aggro range, so be careful, don't go running in there. And also, you don't want to go too crazy with going after some of these guys, because the Hydra will start to shoot water bolts at you. And those hurt. Those definitely hurt. Get him up here. Yeah, fortunately, the water bolts will also hit the golem dudes, so that's nice. Anytime that can work in your favor, because Dark Souls does not give many favors. So the big problem for us is going to be trying to get over to the Hydra sometimes, because he is going to keep shooting those water bolts at us, and like I said, they hurt. Well, tried staggering them. Oh well. Okay. I know you couldn't see much there with the tree in the way, but after he threw that second punch, I knew he had a bit of a, recovery rate, I guess we'll say, of trying to stand back up. So I just went ham with swinging. Shield here, you just want to throw this up when he starts casting his water bolts. If you're able to hide behind a tree, do it, because they do eat the hits here. The ground has a bunch of rocks, so be careful. Once you get close enough, they hurt. They hurt. Once you get close enough, he's going to start doing a charge with his heads. So this is when the fight really begins. He does some charges with his heads. All you got to do is swing at them when they land, but if you throw the shield up, you should be safe from taking any damage. Now, where the heads come in can be a little bit random, but if you turn around, you should be able to get some shots in, and your stamina should come back up before you have to throw a shield up for a block on this. The nice part about being over here in this spot is the heads will mostly go over top of you, and you don't have to worry about getting hit, but also it stops him from doing the water bolts. And if you do happen to get out of range, the water bolts should collide with the rocks and turf in front of you. You don't want to go too far out in the water. It does drop off and you will die. See, we're slowly getting there. At some point I will switch to using just arrows to try and get him down, because we are going to run out of heads to chop off here, and the heads that will be left will be pretty much landing too far away. Yeah, he's doing the water bolts again, so just move up a little bit. Roll back, so because we are pretty far away, he will want to use water bolts again if we're too far out. Okay, so I still have one. Alright, there it is. It's gone now. So I was going to say, I still have one hit that's pretty easy to reach. It's a pretty good slice, huh? So he's got, what, 2 heads left. Are any of them coming? There's my water bolts. I want to see if any of them are coming from a spot that right here is good. If you can cut a head off, do it. It's better than shooting arrows 100 times. Oh, he's got the water again. Move up. Yeah, it looks like he's landing in spots that I can't reach, so I'm going to see what he does one more time, and then we are going to switch to... Alright, there's a head. Okay, we are going to switch to a bow now, because that one kind of just goes across us. This figures this would have been a perfect spot for us to swing the sword there. Go right into the neck. The heads do take more damage than the body, So if you can hit the neck or head with an arrow, that's your best bet. There we go. Dragon Scale and Dust Crown Ring. And the Dust Crown Ring, let's take a look at it. Grants extra magic casting, but halves HP. Not something we'll be using on this playthrough. Some Knight Armor. And for here, I believe this is where the Iron Ring comes in handy. Yeah, I'm not super slow in the water right now. I am going to come over here to the waterfall. This is safe ground over here. Going to do a quick quit and restart. This just allows the area to reset and should spawn the golden golem. And that golem is just around the bend up here. There he is. Okay, so he's not much different than the blue ones, but he seems to be a bit more aggressive. I guess these aren't doing any damage at all. That's alright. Rather him come to me and then have to do a lunge attack, and hopefully I can get an entrance here. If you're quick with your dodges, you can get a couple easy shots in like this. Okay, he did a quick turn there on me. One more good hit should do it. Nope, two. Okay. Well, that's the golden golem. And there is a lady that was inside.
So, it is thou who rescueth me. Most gracious, I am deeply obliged. I am Dusk of Ulasil. I cometh from an age long before thine. I cannot stay here for long. So, before I disappear, allow me to ask one thing. My home, Ulasil, is the home of ancient sorceries. My hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee, with thine approval. Would this be of assistance to thee? My heartfelt thanks. I am pleased beyond words. Then I shout, engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. It seems that my time is done. May the great flames guide thee.
Okay, and she can be used later during a fight, but I likely won't be doing that for my playthrough. Summoning help in boss fights does help a lot in some cases, especially for one of the hardest fights in the game with Smoke and Ornstein. To me, it tends to trivialize the fights a bit, and I prefer the challenge. It sometimes removes some of the mechanics of the fights by having a partner there that holds aggro and you just kind of tee off from behind and not have to worry about dodging. And in other fights, it trivializes things like Smokes and Ornstein with not having to fight two people at one time. You essentially have to fight one, kill it quick and kill one of them quick enough, and then get on the other. And I'm not about to do that. I mean, some people probably enjoy that. It's part of the lore of the game, I guess, is, you know, using them, but I won't be doing that for this fight or this playthrough. Gonna come up here. We're backtracking a bit to where we first were in the beginning of the game. I should probably get to my shield. There we go. We are going to rest at a bonfire close to where the dragon was. Oh, nice block there. Go. There is also, that's just an archer up there. I'm trying to save the Black Knights, though. Like I said, I'm not going to go after some of them. There's one down below this area right now where I'm standing. He has a regular sword, I believe. There is another Black Knight with the Ultra Great Sword. Different from the one that we fought at the Asylum. That I'm saving for when I get the ring. I'm going to pop a bunch of humanities because they help with luck. And pray to the RN Jesus. Rest here. Actually, we can level up real quick, can't we? Gonna go for... Still a pretty big jump for HP. I'm trying to think of what's coming up next and what might be more beneficial for me to grab. I mean, endurance is always nice. I don't think I'm lacking in DPS right now, so let's grab the stamina for endurance. All right. And we're 17 minutes in. I think that's good content for a video. I don't like going too long with these, especially if something comes up and then I'm sitting there running back a bunch of times and forcing people to watch the beginning content, which was decent, and then stuck in a lull to see what happens at the end. So I am going to call this episode here. Feel free to give a like, comment, please subscribe. I'm trying to build up the channel and, you know, get a community going between here and Twitch. But thank you for watching, and I will see you next episode.